I am really excited, and I didn't come here for the spotlight. I didn't come here to have more eyes. I came here to win. And I really do think that with the group that we have, that we are going to win. We are going to get a championship.
Sophie Cunningham sits down for her first interview with the Indiana Fever. Her jersey already sold out worldwide. The veteran looks directly into the camera and delivers a statement that has Fever fans cheering and Caitlin Clark haters scrambling. "I think we are going to win a championship."
Opportunity came about. When I first heard about it, I was so excited. Like, I just knew that it was my time to get outside my comfort zone.
This isn't just another roster addition, it's a statement. The same Indiana Fever that Sheryl Swoopes once claimed nobody wants to play for has now assembled a powerhouse lineup featuring Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell. Alongside them are Lexi Hull, Natasha Howard, Danielle Robinson, Sydney Coulson, and now Sophie Cunningham, the enforcer. In this interview, Cunningham reveals exactly how she plans to help silence the noise surrounding the most watched team in the WNBA. Are you ready? Let's go.
Kind of heard what they were doing, and of course you have Caitlin, who's drawn eyes from all around the world. That is like, why would I not? Why not be part of something great? You go from Diana, and now you're going to a team who is going to be a contender for a championship. And so I'm stoked about this year. I'm really excited for the players, but I'm also excited just for the community and the relationship and the culture that you guys have.
Remember when Sheryl Swoopes boldly claimed that nobody wants to play with Caitlin Clark? Well, that narrative just got shattered into a million pieces. Swoopes stood before the basketball world and declared with absolute certainty that stars would be running away from Indiana like it was on fire. "Nobody wants to play with Caitlin Clark," she proclaimed, as if she had personally polled every player in the league. It was a statement that echoed across social media, sports talk, shows, and became a rallying cry for the anti-Clark crowd.
Peeps, Sheryl Swoopes is been missing. Sheryl Swoopes is MIA. They got a APB out for Sheryl Swoopes. If you see Sheryl Swoopes, she did a lot of talking a few months ago about the Indiana Fever, the locker room environment, how people didn't want to play there, how people wanted to leave.
But here's where reality comes crashing in. While Swoopes was busy making these claims, the Indiana Fever front office was quietly assembling what might be one of the most impressive off-season rosters in recent memory. They didn't just add one veteran star, they brought in an entire constellation of them, all with significant playoff experience. Natasha Howard, a multi-time champion, brings defensive prowess that few can match. DeWanna Bonner adds her scoring touch and veteran leadership, while Sydney Coulson provides depth and experience to the backcourt. And then came Sophie Cunningham.
A phenomenal group. I'm excited for all the other pieces that came in this offseason with me. And so when I really see what I can do here, I'm confident in that, but I really am just excited for the big picture of what everyone brings to this.
When Cunningham sat down for her first interview with the Fever, the excitement radiated through the screen. This wasn't someone who had been forced to join a team against her will, nor was she dreading the prospect of playing alongside the phenom that is Caitlin Clark. Instead, Cunningham's enthusiasm was palpable as she explained exactly why she chose Indiana.
Style of play that you guys are playing here, that Stephanie is going to bring here, it's run and gun, it's shooters, it's motion offense, and so my eyes lit up like a...
The style of play excited her, perfectly aligning with her strengths as a player. She didn't hesitate or waver. She fully embraced everything about her new team, including the opportunity to play alongside Clark. For anyone paying attention, this was the most direct contradiction to Swoopes' claims.
Motion offense my whole life, outside of kind of Phoenix. You know, it was more one-on-one and let people do their thing, and if you're open, you're open. Where I'm more, I like to move, I like to run, I like to dribble and kick, you know what I mean? And so when you see Caitlin, when you see Aaliyah Boston, she's a great passer. Kelsey Mitchell's a great passer, that if you move and you make the great cut, you're going to get the ball. And I think that just helps everybody, free up. And so I like to run. I kind of get the name Forrest Gump sometimes. And I'm like, hey, if you guys want to call me, that's fine. I'll beat you down the court every time. But I really am just excited for the style of play and what I can bring to the table.
What makes this even more remarkable is the fans' reaction. Cunningham's jersey sold out almost immediately after her arrival was announced, clear evidence that not only do players want to join this Indiana revolution, but fans are just as excited about the newest additions to Clark & Co.
I am just excited about not only what I can bring to the table, but as a whole, our versatility as a team is going to be.
The most telling moment came when Cunningham addressed her motivation directly. "I didn't come here for the spotlight. I didn't come here for more attention. I came here to win." With that single statement, she shattered the entire anti-Clark narrative. The notion that players would avoid Indiana for fear of being overshadowed by Clark was exposed as pure fiction.
Here, I've already been motivated. Like, I know this is a new, fresh start. I'm not in a box anymore. Like, I can finally be free and be in an offense that I think that I can really thrive in and be around players who our mind is strictly on basketball and winning. So I'm just re-motivated. I'm refocused. I feel like I'm back, to be honest. I got a nice tan, and that always makes me feel good, too. And so being here, honestly, it just makes me want to work even harder than what I've been.
Instead, Cunningham made it clear that championship-caliber players see something special building in Indiana. They see a young superstar with generational talent, Aaliyah Boston developing into a dominant force, Kelsey Mitchell's elite scoring ability, Lexi Hull's relentless hustle, and, most importantly, an opportunity to build something great. This wasn't a reluctant arrival or someone simply making the best of a bad situation. This was a seasoned veteran genuinely excited about Indiana, praising her new teammates, and boldly setting championship expectations in her very first interview. You couldn't script a more perfect rebuttal to Swoops's claims if you tried.
I'm just so excited to be here. I'm from the Midwest, and so for me to kind of get back to my roots and be close to my family, I'm so excited. Like, when I say that I am refreshed and I am motivated, and I just kind of feel like my spark is back. Everyone thinks I've been feisty. You've not even seen the feisty side of me yet. So this should be really fun. But for me, I'm excited to be closer to home. I'm excited to deep dive into the community of Indiana. I've already met a lot of really cool people. I'm excited to inspire the next generation of young boys and girls around here, get to know the community.
When Cunningham talks about Indiana, she doesn't sound like someone who was forced to join against her will. She sounds like someone who has found her basketball home, a place where her skills, personality, and championship ambitions align perfectly. While Cunningham found her perfect fit in Indiana, Caitlin Clark gained something she desperately needed last season: a bodyguard. Remember all the cheap shots Clark endured as a rookie with little to no response from her teammates? The Kennedy Carter incident with the Chicago Sky was just the tip of the iceberg in what became open season on the league's brightest star.
And Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul, which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Kennedy Carter.
Throughout her rookie season, Clark repeatedly picked herself up off the hardwood after enduring hard fouls, flagrant contact, and unnecessary physicality. Opponents quickly realized there was no enforcer to make them think twice about targeting. Indiana's franchise player, the Fever roster, full of young talent but lacking veteran toughness, could only watch as their superstar endured collision after collision.
A little bit sassy sometimes, which people don't like, that I love. My teammates always love. And to be honest, I spread the court. Like, I can shoot the ball. And when you have playmakers who are quick, who are great passers, with Kelsey Mitchell too, it lets them do their thing. And the defense draws in, and you're just ready to shoot. And so, I think that I'll bring a lot to this team. But at the end of the day, I want to be a good leader. I want to be a great teammate. I want to bring the culture piece and make sure our egos are put aside and that we're all in here to win. And I think that's going to be pretty easy with the.
Enter Sophie Cunningham, the WNBA's most notorious agitator, and exactly what Clark has been missing. Cunningham isn't coming to Indiana just to shoot threes. She's bringing her reputation as one of the league's fiercest competitors, someone who won't hesitate to get in an opponent's face. When Sophie describes herself as sassy on the court, that's putting it mildly. Opposing players know exactly what they're up against: a player who thrives on confrontation and, protects her teammates like family.
Excited to kind of maybe be that calm piece when it needs to be calm, that feisty, sassy, stick up for my teammates when it needs to be that. And so just kind of reading the room and, whatever the team needs that day, being able to provide.
I'm going to stick up for my teammates, Cunningham declared in her first Indiana interview. I'm a fierce competitor. I want to win, and I hate to lose. That mindset transforms the Fever from an exciting but vulnerable team into one that opponents will think twice about challenging.
When it comes to being on the court, I really am. I'm spicy, I'm fiery, I'm the ultimate competitor, and I'm really just trying to do whatever it takes for my team to win. A lot of people have a lot to say about it, but honestly, any teammate that you've asked that maybe had opinions about me before, once your teammates like, oh, like, we love you as him. I'm like, duh, I'm not a mean person. But to be honest, I think that it could be a game changer. You know what I mean? And I'm going to hit my threes. I'm going to do all that. But just from a young age, my parents were like, go be the hardest worker. Don't let anyone outwork you, but also enjoy it. Like, you work your tail off. So when it's time to play a game, go laugh, go smile, go yell if you want to.
What makes Cunningham the perfect complement to Clark isn't just her willingness to defend her teammates, it's her relentless motor. She even nicknamed herself Forrest Gump because of her ability to outwork and outrun opponents on both ends of the floor. When Clark pushes the pace in transition, Cunningham will be right there beside her. Not just as a shooting threat, but as a physical presence ready to challenge anyone who tries to slow down the Fever's offensive engine.
So much out in Phoenix. I was really blessed to have some really great teammates. You get to learn from the GOAT, Diana Taurasi. We've had a lot of people going in and out of that program. They've won championships, and so there's just a lot to learn.
Sophie's basketball education came from one of the WNBA's ultimate competitors, Diana Taurasi. During her time in Phoenix, Cunningham absorbed lessons in toughness that can't be taught through practice drills. Taurasi showed her that a championship mentality requires more than just skill. It demands an edge, a willingness to do whatever it takes to win, whether that means getting under an opponent's skin or taking a hard foul to send a message.
So yeah, I'm 3-and-D, which I've never really considered myself a defensive player, but I think the past couple of years, I have been. I've been able to get my body right. I've been able to bang down low and hold my own. And so I just think when you can get players who are versatile on not only the offensive end, but the defensive end, that's where you win your championships. That's where you make a statement. And so I'm excited to kind of get down and start working hard on the defensive end. I think as a team, we all have to kind of have that mentality, especially if we're trying to get to where we want to go.
Sophie's basketball education came from one of the WNBA's ultimate competitors, Diana Taurasi. During her time in Phoenix, Cunningham absorbed lessons in toughness that can't be taught through practice drills. Taurasi showed her that a championship mentality requires more than just skill. It demands an edge, a willingness to do whatever it takes to win, whether that means getting under an opponent's skin or taking a hard foul to send a message.
Causes some issues sometimes. With the bigger people, I can get into their knees just because I kind of have that strength. But for me, I think that's an area where I could actually improve on. Like, it's funny to me that people are like, oh, she can play some defense. I'm like, oh, I struggle with that. I know Stephanie White's going to be on me about getting better in that area. But for me, that's an exciting thing. A big shot is a great energizer. A great pass is a great energizer. But when you can get 3 stops in a row and you get the crowd into it and you frustrate the other team, like, that's the toughest stuff.
When the Fever's front office acquired Cunningham, they didn't just add shooting. They addressed their biggest weakness from last season. The days of opponents freely taking runs at Clark are over. The first time someone tries a cheap shot, this season, they'll come face-to-face with a player who has built her career on never backing down.
It's okay to sweat and it's okay to yell and kind of, have that grit about you. And so I've never had to try. It's just kind of who I am. And so I'm excited to kind of bring that energy to this arena.
Sophie Cunningham's sharp comments about feeling free in Indiana reveal a deeper story that nobody's been talking about. When she stated, "I can finally be free and be in an offense that I think I can really thrive in," she wasn't just talking about basketball systems. She was lifting the curtain on what appears to be a fractured Phoenix Mercury locker room that had been holding her back.